All right, y'all. It's Warbucks, and you are now tuned into the real review. And I just got out of the movie Is God Is. And I noticed something in the credits. I think the movie was executive produced by Tessa Thompson. Shout out to her. Real talented actress. Love her work. The movie was cool. It was entertaining. Um, Honestly, you know, it wasn't perfect. Had some flaws in some of the decision making of how the characters reacted. Some of the editing and how certain things happened kind of took away from how scenes could have been felt or put out there. But all in all, it was a pretty, it was alright. It was a pretty good movie. It kept my interest up. The whole movie was entertaining from beginning to end. Uh, the movie, the movie starts out with, these twin girls living their life. They got these scars, these burn marks on them, and they seem to be a lot more emotional than usual, carrying some type of emotional baggage. And they go on they find out that their mother is still alive, and they don't really know what happened to themselves based on what we're getting. And the mother reaches out to one of them, but not the other, and the other feels some type of way about it. But the one tells her, it's just because you're a lot more emotional than I am. And so they go, they decide to go see the mom, and the mom is Vivica Fox. And she has burn marks as well. She's scarred up. She's laying in the bed, and she's got these women braiding her hair. And I noticed this throughout the movie as I was watching it. And there's a theme of women empowerment in there, because there's a couple times that they show that in the movie. And it's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? Every powerful woman, also needs a powerful man right beside them that she can uplift and empower as well, some Jay-Z and Beyonce stuff. So, it was beautiful to see that a little bit, in the movie. And so, but anyway, she's got these maidens braiding her hair, and the mom tells them what happened to them, and tells the story of the father coming home one day, beating her, knocking her out, setting her on fire, and that's how they got burned. Lay her down the tub, burns her. By the way, the father is Sterling K. Brown, talented black man. Seems like a solid black man, even outside of his acting, his work. He can act, talented actor. But he seems like a solid man in his interviews. We only get so much of these celebrities. We don't really know them for real, but he seems solid. His energy. He seems like a strong, dope black man. So, but anyway, very Kill Bill-ish type feel to this, with the father being like Bill. The way they don't really show him throughout the movie. They show him, but they don't really show his face, just like Kill Bill. So, like, this movie feels definitely Quentin Tarantino inspired, and Quentin Tarantino is one of the GOATs of cinema. It's no surprise that there's inspiration behind it. So, yeah, so Is God Is. As the story continues, the mom tells the sisters, the reason why she only reached out to one, because I was emotional. Exact same thing the sister said. And by the way, the sisters have this thing where they can kind of look at each other and communicate. And I thought that was a little dope thing they put in the film, where they put the words on the screen of the facial expressions of what the women made. And how that correlated. That was pretty dope. They say twins can kind of, speak to each other mentally even when they're not together. I'm not a twin. I don't know how true that is, but they had their moments where they were communicating with each other without actually speaking. And so the acting in this movie is pretty decent. For the most part, I believe the characters were who they were. I feel like maybe like the twin whole aspect thing though was a little different because I could tell the twins were two different people. I don't know if they were supposed to, like it feels like they were supposed to be identical twins, but it feels like they were more fraternal because like at least the sisters. And so, but anyway, so they continue, the mom tells them that and they react like regular human beings would, like, yo, kill somebody. You're like, we ain't killers. Like, this is a little crazy. And so, but the mom tells her little maidens or whoever the ladies are around them to lift up the gown to show her the rest of her body. And then, you got the older sister, the twin that's usually a little bit more kind of like the leader, the big sister. She was like, yo, where you at? she was ready for action. And so, and by the way, they got fired. They just got fired from their jobs at the beginning of the story because, one of the girls just kind of looked at one of the sisters a certain type of way because of her burn scars. It's just like, just unnecessary, like, situations to be getting fired for. And, they kind of, the older sister, she seemed like the one that's just with it. She ready to, she a pit bull. If you let her off that leash, she gonna bite. And so, but anyway, so she, they decide, the big sister decides they're gonna do it. And on the ride there, the little sister, who's been quiet the whole time when the mom was around, she obviously has like some issues mentally because of her burn mark. She's a little, she's insecure. And they both, suffering from trauma, from what's going on with the mom, suffering from the most trauma, because she remembers everything and experienced everything. And so, they get on the road. There's conflict between the sisters because the other sister who has like the burn marks on her face, she don't want to do it. The other sister, she has burn marks on her arm, but not her face. And so, the one with the burn marks on her face, who seems a little bit more insecure about her looks, she's sleeping with a guy that, doesn't even want to look at her while they sleeping together. And, she clinging to him out of desperation. It ain't no real there. I mean, when a guy's treating you like that, how can you be really connected? And so she's admitting to that she, it's desperation because of how she looks. She's willing to just sleep with some guy and she don't feel like he really care about her like that. And it's just sex. And, it's just a very unhealthy way to deal with your trauma. But, we all do it. So, but anyway, so the movie continues. They get on the road. The first place they go looking, because the mom tells them there was another woman that he started messing with after. And they go to the woman, and it's Maxine from In Living Color. Now, I apologize if I don't know her real name. I'm bad with names. But last time I seen her, she was in Get Out. She played like the cop in that movie. Talented actress. She's funny. Love her. And she has this church where when they come in, they're doing the Holy Ghost. And so, they kind of, one of the sisters do all the talking, and it's the one with the burn marks on her face because the other sister, she got a lot to say that if get them kicked out. And so she knows that, so she's talking over her, keeping the peace. And then finally, once the other sister speaks up, she gets them kicked out. But when they get out, she takes a business card from the lawyer that the father worked with. Now, this is the part I kind of thought was kind of weird. Because, and also, by the way, there's a son that they had, and this woman is waiting on him to come back. You know, Maxine from Living Color, she's waiting on Sterling K. Brown to come back. All these years, he left her with the son, and he waiting on her to come back, which is crazy. So, and yeah, it's wild, you know, and they all doing it off the word of the Bible, biblical things. And so, but anyway, they take the business card and they get back on the run. I don't really remember the twins ever telling them why they were going to see their dad. I don't. But I don't remember them telling the woman now, the other woman who has this son with, you know, Sterling K. Brown. I don't remember him telling them that, but they get on the road, and then there's this thing that they're pissing like on the side of the road in the bushes, and in my head I'm like, they couldn't go to no gas station, a grocery store. Like, there's a lot of places they could have went and actually used the restroom. There's a lot of places they could have went to use the restroom, but they're pissing on the side of the road in the grass. You know, that part, I really didn't understand that, but whatever. It is what it is. And then the whole twin thing is a little weird too. Like, are they identical? Are they fraternal? Because I can tell from the trailer, I could tell they wasn't like actual twins. And so they try to, it feels like they're trying to cover it up with the burn marks. At least they're not identical twins, but you know, you can always just say they're fraternal, but they never actually specifically specify that. But anyway, they get back on the road. There's also conflict because, you know, one of the sisters is just too ready to do everything, and then they kind of get into the psyche of what's going on with her, the trauma of just always feeling like, you know, we the bad looking twins with the scars on us, and the trauma she experiencing is making her feel okay with doing what she's doing, which is going to kill their father, because that's the journey they on. And so while they're on the road, I believe some guy shows up while they pissing on them. They stop to take a break, piss on the side of the road. A guy with a motorcycle helmet on, covering his face, and a hammer. He goes and smashes up their engine, and he, you know, and then he starts chasing after them with a hammer. But you can tell he's an amateur. He don't know what he's doing just by the way he's doing it. Chasing them around, you know what I'm saying? And they have their little scenes where they're hiding and he's trying to find them. And then they, you know, they get away from him and lock him into, together they work together to lock him in the room. And then his helmet comes off because the hole is torn in the side room just so you can see who he is. And he goes, y'all gonna kill my daddy? The one who had me? Y'all gonna kill him? And this whole little thing. And so they leave his behind there because they like, look, this fool. And so, you know, trying to get them over some guy he ain't never even met who left him and his mom there. It's crazy. And so the twins keep going. They get to the lawyer, which they took from, you know, the mom who has the church. They had a little back and forth with him. He, you know, he's writing everything down because he can't even talk. He's not even doing sign language. to nobody, but he's writing everything down. I mean, I guess the people don't got to know sign language and speak it, but it don't even seem like he even knows sign language. But who knows? Maybe he does. But he's not talking the whole movie. And he's a very well-known black actor. Really can't think of his name, but talented actor. You know, he played in Forrest Gump. You know, he's Forrest Gump's friend. Did a great job acting, playing that character. But anyway, so apologize if I, didn't say your name, but, I respect you as an actor. Apologize for that. But he, he doesn't want to tell them. He tells them to go back, go to college, do something better with your life, the trauma. And the way he paints the father fits the description of what the mother gave him. Like, this dude is a terrifying dude. And he tells a story about, them doing the case. He was the lawyer, how he won the case and went free from burning the mother and the daughters getting burnt up, how he helped. And then he cut his tongue out so he wouldn't tell anybody. I don't know, that just didn't make a lot of sense to me. And then he didn't even do it in the scene. He just banged his head up against the steering wheel and walked off. I was just like, okay. It's just a very weird way to paint that scene of him cutting a guy's tongue out. It's just, I don't know. But anyway, so the girls convince him to go ahead and tell them where he is. The guy tells him that he has twin boys as well. And they go on to confront them. They go on and find, because he tells them where they are. So they go to the house, and it's a nice house, big house. And then we get Janelle Monáe, who is now the wife of the father of the twins. And they see the twin boy. We see the twin boys in the house. And she does this weird thing where she's like, I don't know why they do this throughout the movie, but she's in the house and she pisses in a tube. And I can't tell if she took that tube and used it to spray on some glasses to clean them. I'm not exactly sure what that was about. They never really explained why she did that in the house. She could have just pissed in the toilet. Very weird. Like, there's a certain type of energy with this movie where it's kind of told in a real life world, but it's kind of told like a Western or like a superhero type style. Like, it's very Quentin Tarantino-ish, to where you're in the regular world, but you feel like you're in a comic book type, Western type atmosphere where people kind of talk and act not normal a little bit. Things that are being done are not normal. And Quentin Tarantino is one of the first people I remember seeing do that, to take the real world aspect and give it a Western or a different type of feel to it, to where it's like people just kind of doing kind of crazy things in it. And so what ends up happening is they go to the house. The mom, she's trying to lead her husband. Like, she's so scared of him, she's trying to go. And everything paints to the character of the father being who the mother painted him to. But I don't know. For some reason, at the beginning of the movie, I was feeling like there's maybe some details that may have been left out on the mom's side of what really happened. I was feeling like that at the beginning of the movie. But anyway, so they continue going, and they stop the mom on the side of the road while she's driving and trying to leave. The mom don't even stop to hug her sons and kiss them one last time. The son said, I love you, and she said it back, but she didn't even try to hug them. She had them help put the luggage in the car, and she ready to leave, but she don't even hug her own kids on the way out. I'm like, what the heck kind of mom is this? You know what I'm saying? And you know how terrible this guy is, and you just gonna leave him there you gonna leave the sons there with him, and see how they turn out being raised by just him. So, but whatever. Janelle Monáe beautiful, by the way. One of the twin sisters say it when they see her. And so and I like her as an actress, good actress, by the way. I spoke about Taraji P, and she did a movie with her about the women, the first women to kind of work at NASA. Very special black movie. I highly recommend, because Janelle Monáe did a good job acting. Taraji P, versatile as she is, bodied a role that you wouldn't even see her playing, because in her other roles she played different types of character. But I feel like she might have played a character similar to that one. But this one, she just did a good job acting in it, and so she might have played a character similar, but like in the Hustle and Flow movie. But so anyway, back to the story. Janelle Monáe tries to leave. They're sitting on the road, stopping her on the rock road. She get out the car. Then she confronts them, tells the twins confront her and tell her that they're the first children of her now husband. She goes, "Oh, what are you here for, child support?" Then she takes off her necklace and tries to give it to her. They get into this confrontation, with the older sister who's already about it. She ready to go. They get into their little confrontation, and then they piss Janelle Monáe off, and then she says some very disrespectful things like, "Yo, stupid mom should have just left. I don't give a dang about your mom getting burned up. She should have left." Then she spits in her face. And the sister and her kind of got a little riled up moment. Kind of felt like it was taking way too long to hit her, because if you spit in my face, it ain't gonna be no, "Whoa, this chick," ain't gonna be no saying nothing after that. It ain't no words. Like, we own that. But anyway, so, she hit her with the rock in the sock. Which has been a choice of weapon that they've had this whole time, but I don't feel like, I think they might have used it once. They hit the lawyer earlier in the movie. So now she beat her to death. Like, I'm talking about behind the car, slamming it in her head. And then the sister stops her, like, "It's too late now. She dead. Ain't no way she alive after getting bit in the head like that many times with a rock in the sock." So they get on the road, they go back to the house, and then they go in to see the twins. And the twins, it's almost like the sons, and they're like, "Oh, our dad did this." Then they tell them to come on in. Then the older son goes to have a talk with because he got, they're twins, and they gotta be fraternal twins, because these two brothers do not look nothing alike. One is definitely shorter, smaller than the other. One was more muscular, kind of like a young Will Smith-ish type vibe. Hell, probably more so like the one in the new Fresh Prince movie, the new Fresh Prince television show, Bel Air. But anyway, that's the vibe I got from him. But there's a point, she let him in the house, they sit down, and he's talking to the other brother like, "Oh, these are strippers that our dad brought." The other brother's like, "That ain't like our dad to have us some strippers." And their birthday was like, weeks away or months away. It wasn't their birthday yet. And so, but the older brother was like, "Yo, we never get to have no fun in this house. Let's call the bros and let's have a little whatever." The sisters thought about sleeping with the brothers, and they like, "Ugh," you know what I'm saying? Their heads, you can see the words pop out of what they thinking. And so it's kind of a funny scene. And so the sisters go, the older sister tells the young, "We gonna go with it," and we strippers. They get stripped down to some clothes. They spray some perfume in the room. It take them a while to get ready. Then they go out and dance. For the older brother, the younger brother, he's there, but he ain't with it. He dip out. And the older brother look over and tell the other girl she need to turn around because of how she looked, obviously. And so the younger sister, or the sister with the scars on her face, she leaves feeling some type of way. You can see in the older sister's eyes, she about ready to do some damage. Oh, and I forgot to mention this part. They had a conversation before they came out there that they would not, that the older sister wouldn't spread any more blood except their fathers, because that was the mission they're there for. Don't kill anybody else. Don't hurt anybody else. Don't spill no more blood. And so in the scene, she's ready to go off, but she keeps her composure. And you know what? This scene echoes back to when they were kids, and they do speak on this. And I forgot to mention this part, but when they were children, there's a scene where one of the boys called the sister ugly because of the scars on her face, and the other sister picks up a bat and goes and beats the mess out of that kid. And so they have that little moment where they reflect on that before they go out. And so it's just like a callback scene to that, when the older twin brother does that and the other one leaves, and she tells her, my sister ain't ugly. And then the brother goes, they're all God's children or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So she dances for him, gives him a private dance in another room, like they're gonna sleep together. And then she pokes him in his neck, puts a hole in his neck, and he's bleeding out. He walks out to his homeboys, but he's holding his neck. They can't really tell what's going on. The lights are kind of dark. The brother's like, yo, I know you hit that. I know you did. All this other stuff. Then the blood, he spit the blood up on them. And then next thing you know, they all just ran out. They left. We out. Left their friend there. Didn't call the cops. Didn't tell nobody. It's possible that, but I doubt that every single one of them did that. At least one person might have had to tell somebody and call, and they would have had to call cops called. But hey, it's a movie. So no cops are called. They just run out. The brother obviously notices something wrong, but they have a scene where the two twin brothers and sister have a little moment where they vibe out and connect because of, they have a very similar thing, both of the twins, where you got the more confident twin, the better looking one, and then you got the lower self-esteem twin, or the twin that that's just not who they are. They more of a chill, laid back vibe. And the balance between the twins. And a lot of twins are like that because they share the DNA. One gets the other, one gets the other half. So the DNA, a lot of times twins are opposites, whether they're fraternal or identical. They're usually opposites in personality and how they are. And so that creates a balance to where they can work. But anyway, so once the brother finds his brother bleeding out, now the sister talking about killing the other one because he gonna tell. What about all the guys that just ran out of the dang thing? Like, what about them? You see what I'm saying? So like, just little things like that might be a problem. But anyway, so they go ahead and the sisters now fight. Like, it's a clash. And mind you, one of the twin sisters is a little bit taller than the other. Even when they were girls and they showed them sitting on the bench, one was still a little bit taller than the other when they were girls as well. And I'm pretty sure they're trying to paint these two as identical, but they never say it. So, I guess they can get a pass on that. We could just say they're fraternal. But anyway, the bigger, the one with the scars on her face, she pushed the other because she went back on her word. But she's not ready to leave her because she don't want to be alone, because it's just her out here if she leaves. But she pushes her like 2 or 3 times. The other sister's ready to fight her, but she takes the other boy and they run off together. And when they run off together, he thanks her, then he starts choking her. Then the other sister comes in and hits him with the rock. And then they have this whole little scuffle between the three of them. She's like, yo, I told you wanted to save this. You want to save him? And so ultimately, it gets down to a point where the other brother is choking the sister who has only the scars on her hand, and the one with the scars on her face picks up some weed cutters or and stabs him in the back and kills him. And now she done killed somebody. Now she got blood on her hands. And so after that, they have a whole little moment where I don't know, they go back in the house to hide because now the dad has come home. He pulls up and they tell him, he sits down at the table, tells her to come from under the table. And she sits down and he's like, oh, you're not a complete monster, so that's good. And they have this conversation very similar to the discourse or the conversation between, in Kill Bill, between, Beatrice Kiddo and Bill at the end of the movie, where it's like, oh, we gonna play nice, have a polite discourse of conversation real fast. But, and the father, he comes off like he's not a bad person. Like, he tells her she can leave, just go. But the daughter is, she ready to kill him. She got the rock in the sock. The other sister is under the table, passed out. And she ready to kill. Oh boy, she with the smoke. But realistically, that is not what ends up being the thing. The father, Sterling K. Brown, he's smooth, man. He done made 3 different women and had kids with them and got one waiting on him to come back. So he smooth talk his way to his daughter. She tells him she's pregnant. And, he's the grandfather, and how can we go forward with this? She ready to swing on him, but he disarms her, and she puts it down. He tells her to leave, go raise that son, and come back. He don't know there's another sister under the table, I'm assuming, because he never sees her. He just thinks it's just this one. And, they have a question game where he's trying to figure out. And the questions they were asking just were stupid. Some of them, the only questions that made sense to me was the one that the sister was asking. The father, he was asking dumb questions like, who did you kill first? Like, what does that even matter in the grand scheme of things? There are bigger questions, more important things he could have been asking. Like, why did you come here? Were you here to kill me? What did your mother tell you? And, what I'm saying? Just stuff like that would have been a little bit more important. But he tells his side of the story. He says, I was only trying to kill your mom. It was your mom that grabbed you guys and caused you to burn. And I was thinking, damn, that might have really happened. I don't know. Because I was already thinking there was another side to this story. But there's no way to not think this guy's a monster, because the picture had been painted by multiple people, not just the mom. So the experience of this, and but anyway, so he goes ahead, he disarms her, he tells her to leave, but then he slaps her, like bitch slaps her, like bow, backhand slaps her. And she, her face is slapped, and he says some disrespectful stuff, like, I would kill you and make you eat that, but you pregnant with my only grandchild. And so, and then after that, that's when the sister say, look, one of us gonna have to go. And she pick up her rock in the sock, ready to fight. He get his little fighting stance ready. And then the other sister jumps on his back. And, they had a little 3 fight. First, he whooping they behind. But then they team up, work together, and they end up taking him down, ultimately beating the mess out of him with the rock in the sock. Choking him with the rock in the sock. He bloody crawling to the bodies of his sons. He was mad at her for killing the oldest son. He was like, that one was gonna be somebody. He didn't care about his wife. He didn't care about the other one. All he cared about was the oldest one, the one that he thought had the most promise, the better looking one. And so, but anyway, So in the long run of the thing, they end up beating him and end up setting him on fire in the tub the same way that he did the mom. It's only right, poetic, if you're gonna get your revenge, that you do it in the style that what created the whole trauma to begin with. But right before they try to leave, he grabs the other sister. And this is a very weird edited scene where they just show the other sister just run out the house. They show her get grabbed and pulled to the fire. They don't even show the sister try to like get her out. She just runs out. I'm like, dang, the fire ain't gonna spread that fast. You didn't put gasoline on no other parts of the house. Like, she didn't even try to get her out the fire. It almost kind of felt like the sister was just supposed to die because of all the lives she took, the innocent lives. That they may not have been the best people in the world, but they weren't killers. They wasn't bad people. And I think she might have just had a little bit too much of her dad in her. And so, but anyway, the other sister goes out and, there's just a picture painted of her having her child out in the wild, holding her child up in the flowers, and that's the end of the movie. Now, the movie was entertaining, but it was nothing crazy. It's something you could definitely see in theaters, but you could also wait for streaming, It's kind of in that weird space where the movie is not amazing or nothing spectacular, but it's entertaining enough that if you saw it in theaters, you wouldn't complain. And, I'm about supporting black films, man, especially, decent ones that have decent quality. And this one was decent quality movie. So, but anyway, so the movie ends. For me, the moral of the story is black trauma. Man, there's a lot of that going on around here. Black people have enough trauma from the history, from this country and how we were brought over here. And ain't no need to get into all that, but at this point, you should have some sense of what that is and know what that is. And so, but there's also that trauma carried over into the black family with how we were treated in slavery. And you got these black men creating families, but not even being there for them, just being like young boys and just leaving these broken homes and creating all this more black trauma to be passed down to more generations of black people. It's pretty messed up. And that's what this guy did in this movie. Sterling K. Brown's character does that. And so there's a lesson to learn there. There's a moral to the story of Is God Is. You know what I'm saying? And I'm really trying to understand the correlation of the title to that, Is God Is. I guess I would say that, because man is created in God's image, that we are who we are. I guess, I don't know. I didn't really understand or connect the title to the movie. If anybody else in the comments can, I'd greatly appreciate it if you could break that down for me. But I feel like I'm kind of on the cusp of that with what I just said. Is God Is. You are who you are. Because there's a lot of flawed people in this movie and a lot of dangerous things that were created through trauma. And so, but the movie was alright. I give it like a 3 popcorn bucket score out of 5. And I say go see it. Show some support to these black films, man. We need more made. We need more of quality made, not just any black film. We need quality black films. So it's your boy Warbucks, man, and this is the real review. I'm just a guy that likes to talk film, man, and movies, man. You can come talk with me. Hit the comment section, like and subscribe, watch my other videos. Let me know if you like the movie, if you spot anything that I didn't catch, anything deep. If you like movies I didn't like, let's have a healthy debate about it. Let's have a healthy conversation about it. I'm down for all of that. So, but anyway, man, I got one more movie to watch, so that means another real review for you. Real review. Bow.